Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. I have a small project share. This is the second of what I call file folder journals. I was trying to come up with an idea of how to use up all the stuff on my desk. I've created so many pieces and parts, and then sooner or later you have to start putting them together um, as a project. So this is a nice chunky little journal. The outside cover is a coffee stained file folder. It's really embellished. The front is this main image. It's a vintage image, but I printed it on fabric, and it was kind of a fail, but it wasn't, excuse me, only for what I was going to use it for. So I put it on here and embellished by picking up the colors in the main image. Lots of collage on this thing. And the back is fully collaged with copies of old textiles and vintage documents and things like that. Little fabric pieces here and there. And of course the beads. Don't you love doing those beads? And I love to see them on the journals. A rolled flower and different things. So let's open it up here and see what's inside. I put pockets on the back and the front flap both. Let's take these out. This vintage image forms a pocket, and I've got piece of ephemera in there. Now I did buy that one online. I can't remember right now who it is. I'm so terrible at that. And then here's another envelope with vintage handwriting. That's from the same seller. I'll try to find that and put that down below. So each page has a little something on it. A lot of it is using printouts, a little folded letter, and this is a poem by Greenleaf about telling the bees, and I put that's a famous picture of a woman and her daughter walking through the garden telling the bees, and then a couple little pieces of ephemera stuck down in there as a pocket. So I'll put that back together later. Okay, this page has a flip out on it. Something here by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Tuck spot, ephemera, printout, all kinds of interesting things in here. A lot of these papers I made myself, but some of them, of course, are downloads from Pinterest or out on the web, whatever. This one has two little pieces of ephemera, and I liked it because it's an advertisement from late 1800s, early 1900s about taking the train down to Florida. And because you're going to the beach, Savannah in Florida, I put a chart of the tides right there, real old tidal chart. There's a lot of found papers in here. Tried to stick something everywhere. Vintage document, writing lines, photo mat. This one opens out. Little tuck spot there. Vintage linens, more found papers, printed papers. Just cute little things. It's got tons of writing space in it, even though I call it's almost heavily embellished. One of these, I'll call it a compilation page. I printed this in like 6 different colors. I had my polymer stained paper in the background, and I tore pieces and snippets of paper doilies and positioned them all over and then ran that off, and it makes just a wonderful fill-in for a blank page. This is also a compilation page that I made, copying all kinds of things, vintage linens, old advertisements, old handwriting, and then I printed it 4 to a page, so everything's kind of small there. It makes it real interesting. Old map, little tuck spot here with a couple pieces of ephemera in it, some die cuts, old documents, old postcard. Now this is the center of the signature, and it is a really heavy-duty greeting card. So I slid it, or sorry, yeah, it was for a greeting card, but it's the envelope, and I slid it open on both sides, which makes a pocket, and I've put one of my handmade tags in there, so I'll put that back later. 1908 family portrait. Each side of the picture is a tuck spot also, and then here's the tag that I put in that side of the envelope. I made a whole bunch of these, and I just love them. I think I showed them on another video, though, although I'm not positive. But they're window envelopes. I put acetate in the window and then embellished on the outside around the frame. And it can stand alone, be used something by itself, or tucks right in there, whatever you want. Here's another fold out. Tuck spot, ephemera, tuck spot, a copy of an antique love letter, another flip out, piece of vintage ephemera right there with a tuck, I call it the stop spot. Oh my gosh, a tuck spot with nothing in it. I'll have to put something in there. And there's the other side of that compilation page. Really, really adds a lot of interest. I love those. And this fold out, here's a stop spot, and I put one of my little teacups in here, a sprig of flowers, because that flower matched the one on the teacup so well. I had to stick it in there. And 2 pieces of ephemera down in the cup. I put a false back on them and whatever it needs so that it forms a little pocket right there. And then there you have it. Vintage, I'm sure that was a pillowcase, probably, or a dresser scarf, something like that. Let's move this over a little bit. Okay. Found papers, all kind of found papers, images superimposed on top of a genuine antique envelope, doily, more found papers. You can see there's lots of writing spots. And this side has an ideals print of antique dollhouses. And then when you open it up on this side, which I don't know if you can see, it's a picture of mother and child. So that's kind of nice, interesting. So lots of writing space. Piece of ephemera. Print of an old handkerchief. Another superimposed image on a postcard. And the last page there. And then, that's not true. That's not the last page. But here's a flip out. And it opens up kind of this way. Put a piece of ephemera in there. And then I made a very large journaling tag out of one of those compilation collage pages that I made. And there's white on white, one of the doily prints. They give you a lot of interest, but yet you can write right over top of them. It's very, very nice. Okay. And then the other side of that French advertisement, a tuck spot, a little tag made out of a map with a couple pieces of ephemera stuck in there. Oops. Got a feather and Victorian calling card facsimile there. And then this one, another tuck spot made out of a vintage linen. and another one of these large writing journaling cards with all that collage on it. And then here's the back pocket in the back on the back flap. And again, this is a pocket here. I'll put something in there. I'll do that right there to remind me to put something appropriate in there. And then this is a found handmade envelope. And what did I put in here? I know I put something. Okay, 3 pieces of vintage documents, and they all have writing space on the back side of them. All right, so there's my what's on my desk. It is a hodgepodge, but boy, it's an interesting one and charming. I love these old vintage images of women. I'm sure that was an illusion, don't you think? Did people really look that good all the time? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you're interested, this is up on my Etsy site, or will be today, I think. Anyways, check it out, and I'll put you a link below. And thanks for watching.